Hello everybody, so I'm back with the 5th book in the Mediator series by Meg Cabot, and this one is called Haunted, and the cover of this is a little bit different than the other ones. Here, I have the first one here. It looks like this. I guess it's just a different cover. Normally they would look like this with the little ghost people, but it's different. And my library does not have the 6th book, which is the final book in the series, so I have to go out and buy it, which is unfortunate, but I love the series so much that I am going to go buy it. And hopefully I get all these books so I can read it again. But this book, as I said, is the 5th book in the series, and it's really good. I loved it. Not the most interesting novel in the series, of course, but it builds on like the storyline and it builds on the characters, and it's fantastic. So, in the previous novel, the 4th one, which was Reunion? No, that was the 2nd one. Darkest Hour? Maybe. Something along those lines. I have it somewhere in my house. I'll put a link down below to that one. In that novel, you meet a character named Paul Slater, or Slatter, however you pronounce it, and he is the brother of the little boy who can also see ghosts. Because Suze is the babysitter at a hotel and she's babysitting him. So he's the brother of that family. Now, he just enrolled in this novel. He just enrolled in the Mission Academy, which is the school that Suze goes to along with her stepbrothers and her friends. And so he goes there and she's like, oh my gosh, this guy tried to kill me. Because in the last novel, when she tried to exercise, I think that's how you pronounce it, exercise herself, she was up on like the little purgatory kind of realm, and he was up there too because, as it turns out, he is also a mediator, but he calls himself a shifter for other reasons I will explain in a little bit. But he was up there too and he didn't help her get out, so technically he was trying to kill her, and that's what she's thinking of, and so she thinks that he is evil throughout this entire novel and throughout the other one, like at the very end there. And so when he comes to her school, it's a complete shock. She's like, oh, I can't believe you're here. What are you doing here? You can't be here. You're an evil person, and I've had nightmares about you for a long time, ever since that night, and no, just leave. So this entire novel is basically based on their relationship, and he's trying to help her see that there's more to mediating than just helping people. Like, she can switch in between that little purgatory realm and the actual world whenever she wants. So he's trying to teach her, but meanwhile he's putting the moves on her and trying to kiss her and create drama there. And as you know, she is with Jesse, the ghost. Kind of. He's the ghost that lives in her room, and she wants to be with him, thinking that he is her love forever, but after they kissed at the very end of the last book, he's kind of been ignoring her and not putting any of the moves on her. So yeah, there's that little conflict, and so she feels bad because when Paul tries to get her to go over to his house and she goes, he kisses her and like makes out with her, and she's feeling really bad and doesn't tell Jesse that A, he goes to her school, and B, she went over and kissed him. Yes. So those are those conflicts. Other little parts of the book that kind of run true with the story is in the first novel, or the second one, I can't remember, one of those two, Suze was nominated class vice president, and so in this book she is running again, and Paul is her opponent for the vice presidency. The person who's running for president or whatever is Kelly Prescott, who's like the popular girl. So they have that mini little controversy, and her friends Cece and Adam think that that's why she's mad at Paul, whereas there's this entire conflict between him being a shifter, excuse me, and her being like a mediator, and him trying to like kill her. So yes. She also meets his grandfather, who, as you find out at the very end of the novel, is not named Mr. Slater. His name is like Slackus or something along those lines, and he's a doctor, and he is also a shifter, and he's the one who found out about all of these things, and he warns Suze that it is not good, and he thinks that by doing all of these things, you're just ruining your gift, I guess, something along those lines. And that his grandson is actually not doing good for himself. He's being like a devil. So he warns Suze not to follow his, like, Paul's instructions when he's gonna help her find out more about shifting. And yes, at the very end, Suze and Jesse get back together and they kiss, and you find out that Jesse's body was buried in the cemetery at the school. Because it's like a Mission Academy, it's a Catholic school, and so they see like the headstone that they got for him, and he's there, and they make up, and their relationship is all honky-dory, and it's awesome. So that was this book. I am excited to read the last book in the series. I know what happens in the last book because I remember the first book and the last book the most. I couldn't really remember anything that happened along in like the mid-series, like what happened in like this book. I couldn't even remember Paul, for instance. I remember, like, okay, you know how when you have visual aids like in your head while you're reading, like you can picture everything? A lot of it I picture it the same because I remember how I pictured it in the first book, and I remember what it is now, but a lot of it is different. I can tell because I'm kind of like making up new scenarios in my head. But this book, I found that a lot of it was the same because it's mostly contained in the places that were in the previous novels. So yeah, this is this one. I'm going to be hopefully getting the last one soon and be doing a book review on that. So this series is complete. I don't even know what else to say. Oh yes, I should probably tell you that there will be a link to the playlist down below when I get that all up. So this was the 5th review on this series, and I hope you enjoyed it. So yes, check that out. I hope you, again, enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time with the 6th book. Okay, bye guys.